you what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
Well, good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning time now, but it may be afternoon when you watch this. So happy day, whatever time of day you're watching this. Today, we're going to make something super exciting. It is not low sugar. It is full-blown, full fat, full sugar, everything. So if you like my normal Southern cooking, you're going to like this recipe. Let me cut this light off over here. I don't know if that helps or not. But anyway, today we're going to make something kind of good. And kind of something I've never made. I've heard about them, and my idea of them was totally false. Today we're making a honey bun cake. A honey bun cake. Now let me tell you, I have always thought, I've heard about them all my life, never, to my knowledge, never had one. But I always thought they were made out of honey buns. I really kind of thought they were kind of like a bread pudding almost made out of honey buns. Which sounds pretty good, by the way. But that's what I thought. But this is made from scratch, and I think it's going to taste like a honey bun. So let me grab the book, and I want to show you where I'm getting this recipe from. It is not my original, so I want to share with you where I'm getting it from. Let me check, see if my mic's on. Yes, so you can hear me. Okay, let me grab the book, and then we'll get started on this. So we are part of a co-op, an electric co-op. Our system, our electricity goes through this co-op. And they send out a magazine every month. And it's called Carolina Country. And they always highlight somebody. They have different fun things to do. They like take pictures throughout North Carolina and you have to guess where it's at. They do lots of fun things in this little magazine. Well, the August magazine has this recipe in it. So we're going to make this honey bun cake. It was a recipe courtesy of Francis Phillips of Sanford. Sanford is not too terribly far from here. And so we're going to make Miss Francis's honey bun cake, and we're going to see how we like it. I bought this pan especially for this recipe because I did not have a 9x9 pan at all. So we're going to start with a few things and set them aside, and then we'll start on the actual batter. So, okay, so the first thing we're going to start on is our filling. I have 1 cup of brown sugar right here. The filling is only 2 ingredients, super duper easy. And I'm going to add to the brown sugar 2 teaspoons. This is a 1/2 teaspoon measure, so my cinnamon is getting down to where I can't reach. So there's 1. And 2. All right. And I'm just going to take this whisk and whisk that around. I'm going to break up any clumps of brown sugar that I might have. I got a big clump of molasses right here, so I'm going to just pick that out. Just in case you didn't know, I'm sure most of you do know, but brown sugar is all it is. It's white sugar and molasses added to it. You can actually make your own if you run out. Super easy. I'm just going to take my hands real quick and break up any lumps I see and mix that cinnamon in. Super good. And we're just going to set this aside. I'm going to give my hands a quick rinse. I've got some soapy water behind me. I also have, I'm getting this recipe made so we can get it made and get it out and finished because I have 2 little grandbabies who are under the weather today. And so we are going to go get them as soon as I get this made. Okay, so right here I have 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I'm going to add, I think it's 1.5 cups. Let me check. Yes, 1.5 cups of sugar, granulated sugar. So there's a half, there's a whole, there's a half. Now we can put this sugar away and get it out of my way. All right. And to this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Okay. And I'm going to give that a whisk. We want to, you know, kind of give it a head start mixing it up. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're actually going to beat this together in our batter bowl. Okay. And I'm going to set that aside. So now we're going to start on the actual batter that we'll be adding the flour to. All right, so I sat this on the stove to get it to room temperature a little quicker, and it has melted somewhat. But that's 1 stick of butter. And to the butter, we're going to add a whole cup of sour cream. Now, you will not taste the sour cream. So, like, if you don't like sour cream, you're not going to taste sour cream in this because it's going to be baked. It's going to be so full of flavor. But if you're just absolutely opposed, you could try, I don't know how it would work, but you could try a Greek yogurt, like a plain, not a flavored. Well, I guess you could use, but then it's got sweetener in it. But I would just do a plain Greek yogurt. All right, to that we're going to add 1/4 cup of oil, whatever oil preference you have. A tablespoon of vanilla. Two eggs. And yes, you should be cracking these in a separate bowl so you don't get shells in here. But it's one of those, as usual, do as I say, not as I do type thing. And we're also going to add 2 egg yolks that I've already separated here. Just gives it an extra richness and deliciousness. Okay, and I'm going to take just a minute and kind of beat this just with my spatula. I'm not really mixing it. I don't want it to splatter all over me when so I'm just kind of giving it a head start so it doesn't splatter me too terribly bad. All right, and I'll lay that right here. I'm going to use a hand mixer. I'm not even getting out my mixer for this, y'all. Let me stop it while I mix this so you don't have to hear that loud noise. All right, so I've given it a good mix. So I'm going to slowly start incorporating the flour. I'm just going to do a little at a time, beat it. Do a little at a time. Okay, I've just about got it incorporated. Pan is sprayed. Now here is the hard part for me. The eyeballing part. We're going to start by pouring just 1/3 of this batter in the pan. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. So we're going to start with 1/3 of the batter down in the pan. I hope I eyeballed that well enough. Now, if I could have done this in my batter bowl that has measurements on it, that would have been much easier. I'm going to give just a little more. Just a little. It looked a little thin in the center. And you know what? It probably isn't going to bother one thing if it was half and half. All right. So, to our batter that we have, we're going to put our filling. And it looks like they put all of it. So, we're going with all of it. And I'm just evenly distributing this as well as possible. For those of you who have not enjoyed me doing healthier things, here you go. Now, tomorrow's video is going to have something that can be healthy or not. And I'm going to show you both ways or tell you both ways. And let me tell you, it was so good. If that's what healthy food tastes like all the time, then I'm in for it. But this, my friends, if you don't want to know anything's low carb or anything, right here you go. Okay, so on top of this filling, we're going in with the rest of the batter. And here you have to be a little bit more strategic about covering it because I don't want to spread it around too much. I mean, I will a little bit. Y'all. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things, if liking this is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to scrape the bowl real quick because I don't want to miss any of this goodness. The decadence of those extra egg yolks. Oh. So good. All right, now we're not going to be finished with this. Okay, just going to get okay. My oven is preheated to 350. It's going to go in a 350 degree oven for about 45 minutes. So I'll see you back just as soon as it comes out. Then we'll let it cool, and then we have a glaze to go on top. So, y'all, ain't nothing healthy about this, but it's going to be so good. So when I put the cake in the oven, I decided to go ahead and maybe get out my ingredients for the glaze that we'll need to put on it when it cools. I needed powdered sugar. I have a little bit of powdered sugar, but I don't think I have enough. So we're going to try making our own. All powdered sugar is regular granulated sugar, chopped up and ground finer and more and put through. If I had I could get my food processor out, but I don't want to drag that out. I do have this little magic bullet thing that I make like shakes in and so forth. So I'm going to try to make it in here and see if we can make it. I'm not sure. I may have too much sugar, but we'll see. We'll just see what it does. Lesson learned here. When you have a magic bullet that's old as the hills and has actually started giving you a little trouble anyway, don't use it to make powdered sugar. Get out the food processor. Okay, everybody. there's our powdered sugar. Not quite as fine as the store-bought, but I just got tired of hearing the machine go. So I'm going to use the powdered sugar I have, and then just whatever I have to fill in with this.
Thanks, Mom. Cook mine. I'm very sick. Cook mine first. Dad, no.
All right, y'all, look at this beautiful cake. So we are going to go ahead and make our icing real quick, our glaze. It's really not an icing, it's a glaze. So in here I have 2 cups of powdered sugar, and I had almost enough store-bought powdered sugar that I only had to use just a little bit in there. So of that I ground up. All right, so we're going in with 3 tablespoons of milk to 2 cups of powdered sugar and about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And now we are just going to whisk it up till it makes a beautiful, delicious. I guess the camera got tired of looking at me and it just wanted to flip sides. It just like totally flipped over and turned around. So, okay, I am just going to whisk this up, get out any lumps. And I'm basically just going to pour this over this delicious cake. Bryant is in the hayfield working in one of our final fields. He has like 3 left to go. So this is one of the 3. And we're expecting storms this afternoon. So he's trying to get it at least mowed. And then we'll worry about tedding it tomorrow after the rain. So we want our hay to dry out. You don't ever want to bale wet hay. So it's okay to mow it before it rains, but you definitely want to be sure it's dry before you rake it and bale it. So, okay, I've got it nice and smooth now. So I'm just going to take my cake over here. And I'm basically just going to pour this glaze all over it. I'm going to grab a spatula to get all of it, every last bit of this goodness out. So let me grab one. I know you might think I'm not prepared, but everything's in fairly close distance. I don't have to walk far, so that's a good thing. It's not like I'm going to the other side of the kitchen. And even if I did, my kitchen's pretty small, so. All right. So there we go. I'm going to kind of push it over to the edges where it's pulled away from the pan and let it kind of run down this outsides of the cake, just so we can get that goodness everywhere. Bryant is going to be in heaven. Okay. Culinary heaven, that is. Sweet tooth heaven. All right. So we're going to be done in just a little bit. He'll be here. I'll bring you back to do the taste test, and we'll see how this honey bun cake turns out. Well, he's in from the hayfield.
In from mowing hay.
So let's cut him a slice.
And then we're getting ready to head to the church and do some work there.
The glaze will set up and harden as it's...
Now what's this called?
This is a honey bun cake.
Mm. Sounds good. Have you ever made this before?
I've never made it before.
Never made it. All right. Have you ever eaten it before?
I don't know, and I don't know that I have either. I've heard of them.
Look at there. That looks delicious.
You can see the center. I'm dripping.
She's dripping. Look at that. Here's the center. You got brown sugar in it? Looks like brown sugar in the center.
I know my fingers are good.
That's perfect. It's probably not healthy.
What happened to your diet?
That's perfect. Wow, that is good.
I got a wow, y'all.
That is good.
I'm making sure my mic was on to get that wow.
That's a diabetic dream. It's really good.
All right, let's cut Daniel a piece, see what he has to say about
I
it.
can tell you what it's going to say. I can tell you what.
All right, everybody, I'm taking my mic off so I can set it over there with Daniel. We can hear what he has to say.
What tops wow?
What tops wow?
That is delicious.
Double wow.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right, Judah wants a turn, so let me cut him a piece. Okay, everybody, so Judabug and Levi aren't feeling great, so Judah wanted to taste it and wanted to give it a try, but he just wasn't feeling up to it. So, but anyway, Daniel loved it. Bryant loved it. The glaze was delicious that I licked off my fingers. Super good. So, I think because Bryant and I can't have it, I'm going to send it home with Daniel, and he was super excited to hear that. So, all right, guys, I will see you tomorrow, and you don't want to miss it because I'm going to show you how you can make a decadent dessert and make it both healthy, and I'll tell you how to make it not so healthy. So, be sure you tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Remember, we may possibly change Thursday's video to be a live instead of my normal scheduled video. I'm not sure yet, but just keep in contact with my community tab. Check it often just to see if I've added anything about a live on Thursday night. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, the grease is hot enough.
And Brian.
You can fry anything. Bye, y'all.